So, please welcome the Senior Business Development Manager, EMEA Gaming Partnership for Twitch, Mitsu Hirakawa. There we go.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Just want to say thank you to Jamie for inviting me over. I see some great familiar faces. So thanks for coming to this to the event today. Today I wanted to tell you about my experience moving from making games 22 years ago, moved to game publishing, and then now I work on Twitch in the live streaming marketing business. Just a little bit about myself. Like I say, I joined the games industry 22 years ago. I joined EA Criterion making Harry Potter games and Burnout and Black and many years ago. And then I obviously moved to Sony PlayStation signing games for the platform. And then obviously moved around a bit and I ended up in Twitch. So in terms of what I actually do at Twitch, I put a small flowchart of what I actually do because it's a little bit complicated to explain to people. So fundamentally, I am responsible for all publishers and developer relations at Twitch to cover the EMEA markets. So if game publishers and developers want to actually work with Twitch or integrate any Twitch products and services, I will be the point of contact. So fundamentally, my motivation is to bring fresh game content on our platform. So whenever you guys have a game to launch, closed beta, open beta, announcements, those are all opportunities that I would love to connect your game opportunity with our community on Twitch. So I work in the middle between the game developers and publishers and the Twitch community. So hopefully this kind of explains what I currently do. Before I kind of move on, I just wanted to kind of take a step back and talk about how gaming industry has changed over the last 20, 30 years. Things are changing at breakneck speed, as Ian just mentioned, whether it's technology, software, trends, mobile phone, proliferation of internet. Things are changing at breakneck speed. So this shows the number of gamers that we have globally. It's good that the number Ian quoted the same as mine. We currently have over 3 billion gamers globally. That's a huge increase. Admittedly, yes, a lot of them are for mobile gamers, but there's quite a lot. Also, the way games are actually, I guess, categorized has also changed as well. I remember when I was growing up, I used to go to Penny Arcade, and that was really it. That was my my gaming life. But admittedly, over the last years, we have seen game kind of cross-pollinating with other types of entertainment. So on the right, you can see gaming being an epicenter of all other activities. You can see here. Here's some examples. Yeah, so we can see high fashion brands like Balenciaga, creating Fortnite collaboration things just for Fortnite. We've seen Mojang being bought out by Microsoft and is now part of educational programs in school. We've even seen American congresswomen use Among Us to actually reach the audience that they haven't been able to in the past. So gaming has really changed and will continue to change how we interact with the community. Now this brings me to back to how we as consumers, we as gamers, and how we as game publishing developers interact with the community. So I'm sure most of you know what Twitch is, but could you raise your hands if you're a regular Twitch user? Okay, great. So Twitch is actually 10 years old. It started as something called Justin TV, and it started off as a gaming platform where people could share live broadcasts. And to this day, gaming is still the kind of core of the Twitch experience. So the thing that differentiates Twitch from YouTube is that Twitch is a live broadcast platform. Obviously, we do have video on demand just like YouTube, but primarily people come to Twitch to consume anything and everything that they actually like. So it's not all about gaming. It's it could be anything to do with your hobby, your interest. People talk about crypto. People come and watch mobile games. Anything. There's something for anyone on our Twitch platform. The thing that really kind of sets Twitch apart from any other platform is the existence of a community. Now, you may not be very good at playing a specific type of game, but people come and watch and share their experiences and opinions because they love the community that they belong. And I think in terms of, you see on the bottom right, you see the chats going crazy with the emotes, and Twitch has its own language in terms of these meme culture. They have these kind of cool keywords that only Twitchers use on our platform. So the community element of Twitch is super important, and hopefully today I could give you some ideas on how game publisher and developer could use Twitch to support your game launch. The thing with live broadcast is it's quite random, unpredictable, and I think that's one of the key things why people keep coming back to Twitch. You can create a very polished, edited video on YouTube, but because there is no interactivity with the creator or the game itself, this is where Twitch can really come to its life, where, when you type a message in chat, a content creator could actually read your chat and actually respond to you. So there is an instant feedback loop that is only possible on Twitch. So this is what Twitch actually looks like. You've probably seen this a number of times. In this example, we've got a streamer called Fusely. She's obviously, in the just chatting category, discussing the games, and you see the chat bot on the right. There is a lot of kind of small details to take in, but all these kind of small incremental things make a huge difference when we think about how communities are built on Twitch. You can see on the right, you see these kind of emojis and emotes that some are very unique to specific channels that you visit. It could be very specific to a game that you've played as well. So, these little things all incrementally add to the sense of community, and this is the kind of, I guess, the magic of Twitch. Now, in terms of numbers, Twitch is really huge. We're particularly really, predominantly has a lot of presence in North America and EMEA. At any given time, we have minimum 2.5 million viewers at any given time. Obviously, this, in the UK right now, it's 2 o'clock. We're meant to be working. But other side of the world, it's peak time where people are kind of winding down for the evening and ready to kind of chill out and watch something on Twitch. So Twitch is a 24/7 service, so there is always peak hours somewhere in the world, as it were. Really huge numbers. Obviously, during the pandemic, our viewership more than doubled, which is kind of great for the business, directly, indirectly, and that's been kind of great for the platform. But I think the key number to see is obviously we've got over 160 million gamers that's registered on site who are interested in gaming, who come to our site every single month. So yeah, Twitch is a great place to be if you want to promote your game on our platform. in terms of kind of like how does a game developer publisher succeed on Twitch, I tried to kind of simplify it in 3 kind of cornerstone things that you know hopefully you can kind of get some ideas from. The first thing is creator adoption. You actually need content creators to be playing your game. How do you how do you get them to play your game? I mean, you could straight down just pay them, you know, but there are other non-monetary ways you can convince them to play your game. Also, viewer engagement. How do you keep viewers keep coming back to keep watching your game over and over again? Obviously, you know, for games that are like free to play or live, you know, service games, you need to retain the attention of the viewers. Now, how do we do that? Now, there's a lot of tools on Twitch that could help you with viewer engagement. And finally, game awareness amplification. How do you kind of shout to the world that you've got a game on Twitch and such content creators are streaming your game? Now, there's a lot of kind of co-marketing, collaboration things that you can actually do with Twitch as well. And once you kind of have these 3 key, you know, cornerstone moments kind of clued in, then you give your game the best chance in success on it. So obviously, just, you know, spending $10 million on ads, well, that's great. You'll have a huge spike on launch, but you may not necessarily have the longevity because you've got nothing to retain viewership post-launch. So one of the first kind of tools that, one of the most effective tools that our developers use is called Twitch Drops. It's a viewer engagement tool. It's a very, very simple premise. Come and watch my game on Twitch for such and such minutes, and we would give you something from the game. Now, most times it could be cosmetic, it could be a, you know, unique skin, in-game credit, that kind of stuff. So, you know, as long as the, you know, the item that you're giving away is cosmetic and it can be earned by everyone, this really helps bring people coming back. So on the bottom right, it's from a game called Rust. Rust has been out for a while. It's a survival game. And, you know, they are probably the most prolific drops user on Twitch, where they probably hold the top 6 most successful drops campaign all in one game because they've completely zeroed in on what really works for their community. You know, so you could set anything up to 4 hours watch requirement for you to grant the item, you know, to the viewers, and this is a really, really great viewership retention tool. Just a quick, you know, case studies that the Escape from Tarkov team allowed me to share these numbers with you. Pre-Twitch, Escape from Tarkov is a hardcore shooter made by a team in Russia. You know, before coming to Twitch, they were more like quite a niche title that didn't really have a big audience space, but obviously they've done Twitch Drops with us. They did some ran video advertisement for us. We organized custom tournaments on Twitch as well, all exclusive to Twitch. So they worked with Twitch to give a reason for viewers to come and flock to watch the game on Twitch, and that's obviously helped propel Escape from Tarkov to be one of the top 10 games ever on Twitch. It's been very, very successful. Obviously, for content creators as well, it really, really helps. So this is, you know, average viewership graph for Pestily, and having things like Twitch Drops, running tournaments, you can tell that his viewership averages has been consistently growing since he got involved with the Tarkov streams on Twitch. Probably one of the most kind of successful drops campaign we did was with Valorant, Riot's Valorant. So, you know, we kind of said, you know, to Riot, let's do a drops campaign on Twitch, exclusive on Twitch, that if you wanted to earn the beta key, you have to come and watch the game on Twitch. So by doing something on Twitch, you're creating artificial exclusivity, you're tightening the funnel. Because if the beta keys were available anywhere on Steam or Epic or just the website, it doesn't really give a reason for somebody to spend their time coming to Twitch. So by you creating this artificial funnel on making sure, give people a reason to come to Twitch, that seems to fuel the hype, the fear of missing out factor, and for people to commit 2 to 4 hours to watch your stream, they kind of feel they've earned the reward, they've earned the key, and that further fuels the kind of product loyalty and stuff. We've got a couple of other tools. There's hundreds of tools at Twitch that you can use to enhance your broadcast. But we do have something called extensions. Extensions are basically like 2D UI overlays. So you see, like on this example, we've got a viewer prediction tool that's on the bottom right of the screen. It's kind of like saying, take a vote, who's going to win next. So this is trying to convert viewers into active participants of the stream. So rather than just watching something with their brain switched off, we're asking the viewers to participate in the outcome of the stream itself. So on the bottom right, you see, will I set a new personal best time, yes or no? So you give the community a very short time, 5-10 seconds to place their votes, and the collated group statistics would show as well. And obviously people would then carry on watching the outcome and say, oh, the blue team won, the red team won, we got it correct, da da da. So that creates a lot of chatter as well. So in this example, on the bottom right, you can see how viewers can actually, influence what they see visually as well. So this is a little bit of an invasive integration with your game as well. But whether it's, let's say the viewers have seen like a really exciting climax of the, head-to-head battle, and they want to show their appreciation, and they could trigger off visual effects or sound effects, in the stream as well. So, if people want to just watch something with their brain switched off, they can go to other platforms. But, there are these tools within Twitch that allows viewers to be very, very engaged. In this example, we can see, maybe we're doing like a watch party format where you're watching the Video Game Awards live with Jeff Keighley and the community, discussing which game is gonna win the best indie game for this year, etc. So, you can have a very, very interactive tool such as this to make the most of the content that you've got. So in this example, you can see from Destiny, the left-hand UI panels you see, those are only on the stream. It's not going to be in your game. These UI panels are only going to be visible on Twitch. So in the top one, you can see it actually shows the loadout and the armory and the weapon choice of the streamer. A lot of people, especially in FPS shooting games, people love to see how the pros equip themselves. So again, this is like a really good talking point for chatter to talk about, the streamer is going for more of an aggressive strategy, etc., as well. Now, in terms of big question of how do we get content creators to play your game? We think that, at least on Twitch anyway, they're driven by 3 things: money, love, and fame. Obviously, the money side is very, very straightforward. If you want them to play your game, you can just simply pay them or go through an agency and they would just play your game. But obviously, there are other factors that would help convince them to play your game. So I added love and fame. So love is, they need to feel that they're being taken care of by Twitch, but also from the game developer. So a good example might be, maybe they don't want to wait for a game key on Keymailer or Rainmaker, maybe we could facilitate distribution of keys to content creators well before advance. Maybe you could allow Twitch partners 24-hour early access before anyone else. So you're trying to give them a reason to stream your game, for you. So I've mentioned some of the kind of tactics that you could use that would help with the love factor. And fame is basically, they thrive on attention from their community. They want to be able to, go on Twitter and shout about it. If they got, if they were selected to be one of the exclusive content creators who could, stream the game before IGN, that's a really good bragging rights for them. If developers were able to create like a unique skin just for content creators, that's a really good bragging rights. So those are kind of things that would really help, fulfill the fame factor. That would really, really help. This is a activation I did recently. So with Cyberpunk launch, obviously it launched, it was great. A couple of weeks ago, they launched a Netflix original animation called Edge Runners. So the role I played was I negotiated, the premiere of the anime on Twitch a day before Netflix. That was only available on Twitch for Twitch partners only. We managed to get these ramen bowls and chopsticks sent to a handful of top content creators, and we got some emojis arranged. So all these kind of exclusivity really helps, give people a motivation to come and stream your game. And as a result, obviously, Cyberpunk, which is a game that's been out already, they hit something like 85 concurrent players on Steam last week, and the launch went great, and we didn't spend any money on content creators. We didn't pay them. So, there are multiple ways you can convince content creators to stream your game. So I mentioned the three things at the beginning. We need streamers to play your game. We need the viewers to be engaged. And we also need to amplify the message that, you are going to be streaming your game, etc. So this, what I call kind of Twitch flywheel, is something I just put. And the ones in yellow are the kind of key tactics that we commonly see that developers and publishers use in order to help your launch. One thing to note is, I think, if you are planning on using Twitch as part of your marketing, tactics, it's to give yourself the best chance of success of going viral and really succeed on Twitch. You should consider all three elements rather than just doing one, because that probably isn't the right way to do it. Anyway, just a final key takeaway. Twitch is by far, obviously, the best home for gamers, and I think, I commonly come across publishers who kind of think of Twitch after the game is launched, and it's sometimes a bit too late. So I would definitely make sure that Twitch is part of your launch plan. You can use Twitch pre-launch for betas as well. So it doesn't. You shouldn't wait till the game launches to come and speak to Twitch. Obviously, community managers, that type of role never really existed 20, 30 years ago, but now it's super, super, super important. It could, really, really help with the success, but it could also go the other way as well. So please do consider community management, and how you work with influencers is also pretty critical as part of your launch plan. Like I say, the three key things: creator validation, how do you get viewers engaged, and how do you spread the word about game awareness? So we do have a developer portal. You can create a free account at dev.twitch.tv. There's a lot of knowledge base. There's a lot of kind of like, documentation. There's a lot of APIs you can download. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. So if you are interested in working with Twitch for your game launch, please visit dev.twitch.tv. And that is the end of my presentation.
Super. We've got time for a couple of questions. If anybody's got anything to ask Mitsu about Twitch. I was going to ask about what sort of, I'll come over there. I was going to ask about what sort of, what can you do to make your game more attractive to influencers right from the start? I'm thinking like, because I've got friends who made Gang Beasts, for example, and that's just a fantastic game to, you know, to have streamed, and you know, it's a fantastic game for influencers. So, can developers early on when they're making their game make decisions that will make their game more attractive?
Yeah. So this money, love, fame is something that would really drive content creators to play your game. I often come across a lot of dev teams. They just don't have the money to just pay streamer rates. Their rates could be pretty high, right? So so what could you do? So rather than the money side of things, how about what could you do with the love and the fame angle? And I think things like exclusivity. You might have obligations with your press partners like IGN or Eurogamers. But what if you could give Twitch partners 12 hours head start, you know, allow them to stream like mad before, you know, that's not going to cost you anything. It's more of a policy discussion with your press partners, right? So there's easy wins. Game keys on Steam, that's always welcome. Maybe for top content creators, why don't you give them extra keys so they can then play with their friends? Maybe give them extra keys so they can run little competitions on Twitter, so they could, you know, increase their audience base on Twitter as well. So anything you could do to, you know, motivate those guys, the better. And, you know, Twitch, biz dev, people like me, you know, we're more than happy to kind of advise you on what tends to work, what doesn't tend to work as well.
Yes.
And thank you for the talk. You mentioned awareness, but it didn't expand into how to raise awareness. It's like, is it just ads, or are there anything like a small studio could do?
Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, so my inbox is literally full of developers asking me to get front page featuring placements. I'd love to give everyone free front page placements, but they're also sold ad inventories, right? So what is it that you could offer my content creators? So it's a little bit of a bartering system. So if there are things you can do for content creators, like you supported Twitch drops, or you could give exclusivity, or you could give keys, I'm more than happy to help and work with you to support the co-marketing. So to give you an example, I have marketing teams dotted around the country who are very, very interested in promoting creators from their country. So let's say you find one or two content creators from like France or Germany that are your brand ambassadors, that, you know, they're really, you know, so maybe you let me know who these guys are, and obviously I can say to the French team or the German team to say, hey, we've got this new game coming out, it's been really supported by this French and German creators, could we do something? So we could do social, we could do push notification, we could feature in, you know, iOS and Android, you know, all this kind of stuff can be done, but I need something in return. So it's a little bit of a, you know, give and take. Now, I'd love to sell you ads, you know, but, you know, indie teams don't necessarily have a huge budget to run ads, but there are lots of non-monetary ways to do it. But like I say, you know, when teams just ask for front page featuring, I need something in return so that I can, you know, convince the featuring gods to say yes. So definitely there's a lot of opportunities. In the bits in yellow are some of the key tactics that you could use. So for example, the brand partnership is quite an interesting one. So let's say you haven't got the budget to pay for content creators, or you don't have anything exclusive to offer Twitch. How about, you know, we have a very big brand partnership team. So let's say, you know, brand partnership team is speaking to Red Bull as an example. And Red Bull might say, can you put the Red Bull can in the game if we paid you X amount of dollars? So the deal in that instance might be Red Bull might be spending quite a significant amount of ad dollars on Twitch, and we would feature your game with a Red Bull content creator. So Red Bull will sponsor a top-tier content creator to promote Red Bull, but which game are they going to play? And we could obviously say to Red Bull, hey, this game is very willing to, open to collaborating with you, and the benefit is that your game will be featured, the top content creator will be using your game, and obviously you might get a lot of marketing budget because you've placed a Red Bull can in the game or something along those lines. So there's a lot of ways to do it, but definitely I think communicating with your local biz dev team, being open about your release dates and what you're willing to work with content creators, that's probably the key thing, because a lot of these things do take time to set up.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mitsu. We've run out of time, unfortunately, so a big round of applause for Mitsu. Thank you. Super. Okay, our final talk before the networking break is about how the games industry is perceived and what we can do about it. So here with the talk, Everyone Hates Us and We Don't Care, but we should, is Gina Jackson, OBE.
Thank you so much. And just to say, if anyone's feeling really hot, down here is freezing. And if anyone's really cold, back there is boiling. I have discovered that because I'm absolutely freezing. So first of all, thanks to GamesIndustry.biz for asking me back.